Minecraft. Well, first thing I did was get beat up by a group of zombies and hide in a tree. You're using PS3 edition? That's so nostalgic. Dude, you're so underrated. You deserve like 400k
Best
subs.
video.
Fire emoji. I got my Minecraft disc for the PS3 in 2014.
The PS3 edition is so
the Wii U nostalgia.
I miss it so much.
Subscriber?
I miss playing Bedrock. Wait, what?
Okay, now that people turn down their phone's volume, I can explain more secrets about Minecraft Legacy Console Edition. All jokes aside, let's actually just get into it already. We'll start out in the comment-based section where we will review comments that were on the original video, but they were never mentioned. Like this one, where it's mentioned that god apples can still be crafted in the latest version of Legacy Edition. Which is true. Crafted with 8 gold blocks and 1 apple, you can make yourself an enchanted golden apple. And frankly, this isn't actually well known because this is only applied to Legacy Console Edition after 1.9. This next one is interesting because apparently somehow the Bedrock glitch wasn't even fixed, but you have to spawn a lot of golems. And now that I researched that, I'm pretty sure it's always been like that. And yes, as you can see, as soon as we do that, the snowman does not appear and it does drop the bedrock. Now, out of all the secrets that I have been told, this one I actually never knew. And this is the final comment-based one. This is a pick block dupe glitch that he suggested me to do, but I couldn't do it. And like the last one, this is one of the very few that I did not know how to do, so I want to point you to a specific video on YouTube. This channel does a great job of explaining it, however it only works on the old gen consoles like PS3 and Xbox 360. But if you still have those working types of consoles, then this is the glitch for you. Because all you have to do is pick block and scroll right on your hotbar at the same exact time. And from there, you would scroll through the menu until you were able to craft the diamonds themselves, and thus you would get 18 instead of just 9. But because of PS4 receiving its last update furthermore than every single other console that supported this version of the game, that means the bug was likely patched and is not doable here. And before we move on to other secrets that you never knew, I forgot 3 different chests inside of strongholds. One that gives you a lot of apples, another that gives you a lot of books, and another that gives you a lot of ender pearls. The last ever Minecraft tutorial. We all know it, we all love it. But did you know that it's not 1.14 on PS4? At least, not quite so. Because as you can see, when we go to trade with the villager, they're still on the standardized before 1.14 trading style. And unfortunately, if you're on that version, that means you can't cycle villagers. But I mean, come on, who's gonna beat the tutorial world in Minecraft? If you like 1.9 and 1.8, then I recommend you to stay right here, because Knockback and Legacy Edition is weird. This is because Minecraft Legacy Console Edition has 1.9 physics. When you hit a mob without sprinting, it goes 2 blocks, and when you do hit it with sprinting, it goes 5. However, PvP can easily be manipulated, because if you jump up and hit a creeper and fall down and hit the creeper almost at the exact same time, then it'll do extra knockback in some cases. This does not apply to much right now, but we'll get into that later. But with Knockback 2, without sprinting, it goes up to 8 blocks, while with sprinting and hitting it, it goes to 10.5. But this is where that jumping effect takes into place with Knockback 2, because as you can see, when doing the trick, we almost reach one chunk just 2 blocks off, which is 14 blocks of knockback. And when doing the exact same thing while sprinting, we can get up to 17 blocks, which is just barely over one chunk. However, doing this with slow falling is almost a completely different story, as doing this without sprinting can almost get us to 20 blocks, which is 1 short. While doing this with the sprint and jump technique with Knockback 2 and slow falling can get us to 22 blocks of knockback. However, there is one small mob that takes the crown for all, because doing the exact same strategy but for the chicken gets us 24.5 blocks, which is theoretically the maximum knockback possible. But before we tell you the next secret about Minecraft Legacy Console Edition, let's just go through the Nether. And what is that? That is literal water inside Nether. How is that possible? Well, it's an interesting way to get it, but what you have to do is you have to waterlog a leaf by placing water inside any leaf from a tree. And by using complex moves, you have to 1. Break the leaf, 2. Switch to the next slot in your hotbar, and 3. Pick block it all at the same time to obtain this water block. And now you can flood your nether. Man, should I be banned for this? Here's the funniest thing in the whole entire world. Place a lot of TNT minecarts down near the Ender Dragon. When it perches, let them all off, and you can watch this Ender Dragon officially disappear when he's not even dead. Though to be fair, this is really useful when he's below half health, and then he'll instantly die. Some people know that in different versions of the game, curing a zombie villager will heal the villager, turning him back into a normal one, and thus will lower its prices when they do. But in Legacy Edition, that really doesn't happen. In fact, the job actually changes from what the villager was originally at. Please welcome our not-so-special guest, Minecart with Furnace. And if you press the build button on it, it will go, but not for very long, because it needs fuel to run by itself. Most people speculated what this was for when it was first added. They would think it's just a furnace on a minecart, and not just an engine. But I have an interesting theory that many will agree with, because minecarts in the older versions of the game could not even go up hills. So, the minecart with furnace was used to push the minecart that you are on up a hill, so it's easier. And I guess you can call this a more costly experiment. Back to this again, and if you still cannot find a treasure, I figured out the easiest way how. And like I said, it is the 8-9 chunk coordinate, but since we have no way to figure that out, we have to use a specific setup. Count your 16s on your X and your Z until you reach this point on the X. And now that you did that, all you have to do is move 8 spaces up and 9 spaces to the right, and you'll find your treasure there. In the Java or Bedrock port of the game, you would hear music as soon as you hop through the portal again to complete the game, but in Legacy Edition, one track, one from the end dimension, that's all. And for some reason, when the poem ends, it just pauses, and then you get to continue from there. It doesn't even continue for you. And before I end off this video with a bang, I want to talk about one feature that was removed: sword blocking. Obviously, when all these ports were just released, they had sword blocking, but not the sword blocking you usually see. You can sword block and hit at the same time, which obviously isn't usual. And since it's a bug, it can be used to kill mobs faster, like the chicken. But, unironically, in the newer versions of Legacy Edition, they actually introduced a pause clutch, as it's impossible to do in these older versions of the game. And last but not least, a way to get diamonds really easily. First, place a crafting table down and fill your entire inventory with whatever stack you want, but make sure you fill every single inventory slot with them. Then scroll to the decorations tab and then press show craftable recipes, which is triangle. And finally but not least, hold X on the diamonds as it switches between the diamond block and the diamond. Eventually it'll start to duplicate massively, overhauling what you can do. Because by doing this for about 30 seconds, this is how many diamonds I got. Well, I'm out of ideas, because as some of you may know, I usually do my videos on PS4 on the latest version of that game, which is 1.14, as opposed to every single other console being stuck on 1.13, which makes it harder for me to tell which bugs are true and which are not. This unfortunately means I'm going to have to cut the video here. However, if you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe, but don't make it your first priority. And before I go, people will tell me, according to the video footage right now, that I can play Minecraft on PS3. I cannot. It is emulated, so it's not perfect. Even if I were to run the latest version, it would crash very easily. So I just wanted to tell you all that before I get spam comments. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video.